Welcome back. This is the second part of a two-part series where I walk through the image processing of the Orion Nebula using Pixinsight. This tutorial series is especially helpful for beginners, but more experienced users might find some useful tips as well. You can find the link to the first part along with other helpful resources in the video description down below. If you enjoy what you see, please give this a like and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's dive in and enjoy part 2. Welcome back to the second part of our Pixinsight beginner tutorial. As I explained in the first part, I used my DSLR camera to make 77 images of the Orion constellation, and now I want to process this image together with you. The last step of the first part was separation of the stars and the nebulosity here. Now let's work on the stars later, minimize this, close the star net, which I used for separation, and let's just work on this one here. First thing I would do now is work on the colors and increase the color saturation. You can do this using curves transformation function or using the color saturation function. In this case I would start with that one. You can individually change certain colors or color ranges here, going from red to green, blue and so on. You can also reset the settings here. Again, you can also increase the overall color saturation using this bar here. Reset the settings, and what I really recommend is to use a preview for this function. Just go here and click, and let's zoom in to this nebulosity here and just increase the colors here and apply this. Reset, maybe zoom in again and apply again. Before first saturation, increase a second one. When doing the processing, most probably you will have certain steps you will always do in an order. For example, first doing the stacking, then doing background extraction and maybe noise reduction, and at a certain point separation of your object and the stars and so on. But most probably you will also go back, because each change you will do on your image will have an influence on another attribute of your image. For example, if you do increase the color saturation, you will most probably see more noise. Let's go back and let's do the color saturation again. Now you will see more noise, and this always goes hand in hand. For example, if you do further stretching, you will see more noise. If you apply color saturation, you will see more noise. Some of the cases, if you increase the color saturation, you will lose details and so on. So that's why you will not follow a path from top to bottom, but most probably going back again to certain changes of your images. Now, for example, I would do the denoising again. Let's take this value, apply. This is before, after, before, after. But I'm still not happy with the stretching. Yes, we can see the Great Orion Nebula and we still have the separation here, but this part, for example, is too dark for me. So what we will do, we will apply another range mask. Just go to process, all processes, and go to range selection. Open the preview, reset the settings, and try this again. Maybe somehow we have to protect this brightest area. So we have to select only the brightest area here, and we want to stretch everything else. So let's zoom in. Only the two core structures should not be stretched. The rest should be stretched already. So let's try this one and make it more smooth. And just reset, so you can see only the small part is not affected. Let's apply this. Close this as well. And now the beauty here after separation of your stars and the object is not even the stars are stretched now, but only everything except this brightest region, in this case, this part here. So you can also do the same again what we did before to check if this is really the part we covered with this mask. Just drag and drop here on this image, and you can see this is exactly the region we want to protect. Okay, so now let's do stretching again. Go to histogram transformation, reset the settings, open the preview, and let's do some image stretching. But before, let's zoom in here again and use the slider. Now you can see, to a certain point at least, you can see that we still have the separation here, because this region will not be stretched, or not so much at least. Let's see how this whole picture will look like. Just increase the stretching. Yeah, let's check this region, this core region here. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. Just apply this, reset the settings, and now make this darker. It's only affecting the background now. Zoom in again. Yeah, we can still see the separation. Now we have to be careful, because if we do more stretching, most probably we will lose it. This would be too much. Reset. So all in all, it's quite easy to make an image of this region, but it's really not easy to process this because of this high dynamic range here. Go to process, all process and range mask again. Open the preview, zoom in this region here, and we have to make it bigger. Maybe like this. Let's zoom out again, so you can see it's nothing else is bright, so this is good. So only this area is affected. Zoom in again, and maybe try this. Just apply this to create a range selection mask. Close this, and this could work. We only want to protect this area, but we don't want to protect this area. We want to stretch the nebulosity here. To apply the mask, just drag and drop here. And I think this looks much better now, because now also this part is covered. Go to mask, select the right image, go to mask, invert the mask. I think that looks very good. Okay, let's try this. Show mask, not to show the mask. Go to histogram transformation again. Open the preview. Reset the settings. Zoom into this region. First only to get an idea if we're really dealing with the bright areas here. And increase this stretching. This looks very nice. This would most probably be too much. So now you can see that we applied a mask and this area is darker. This does not look very nice, but even if we stretch it very much, you can see that this area is still protected and we still have a separation here. So let's go down and just increase it slightly, apply, reset again, and make this a little darker. Yes, very nice. Apply again. So I would also recommend to do this in several steps. Not just the stretching, also applying NoiseXTerminator and other functions. We can see now more nebulosity here. And let's zoom in here. And let's do even more. Zoom in to this region. Maybe it's too much zoom. Stretch this even more. Yeah, I think that's still okay. Make it darker, but not clip any data here. This is important. Okay, very nice. Close. And so this mask worked very well. We can still see the separation here, but we really increased the stretching and can see more nebulosity here. That's very nice. Close this. Now we can try to make the background darker. Let's try to use this function. And this is only the mask, so let's stretch this mask. Open the histogram transformation, open the preview. And just reset the settings and increase the stretching. It's only a mask, so we can clip any data here. It does not matter. Just a mask. Okay, apply this to the mask. Close this. And now we have a new mask. Just remove the old one by remove mask and apply this one here. Now we can see the mask is applied. Now let's go to mask, show mask, and this will be exactly the opposite of what we want to do. We want to change the background. Now the background would be protected because it's red. White is affected and red is protected. Let's go to mask, invert the mask. Now the nebulosity is protected and also this area here. Let's go to mask, show mask. And you also can regulate the stretching using curve transformation. Open it, open the preview. You can make it darker with that function here. But at a certain point you can see also this area is getting darker. So I would use the screen transfer function again, open the preview, reset the settings and make it darker. Yeah, apply, reset, and make it even darker using this slider here. Okay, apply, reset, close, close. Okay, very nice. Let's zoom in here again. We can see a nice stretching. We can see the nebulosity. We can still see the separated area here, stars, zoom to fit, and we can still see some kind of a hint of this nebulosity here. Okay, that's very nice. Maybe we will need this later, this mask, just minimize and put it here. Now I would try to increase some structures here using unsharp mask. Open the preview, zoom in again. Now the value is already applied, that's why you can see noise here, and this is also what I meant when you increase sharpness or color saturation. It will also have an effect on noise, for example. Reduce the amount to 0 first and just increase it very slightly. Just apply, close, close. Now go back. This is before, after, before, after. I don't know if you can see this on YouTube, but here's a small difference here. Now you can also use the local histogram equalization to see more details. Open the preview, zoom into this region here, and the amount is 1. So we introduced a lot of noise here, just reduce this and slightly increase it to get more nebulosity, more details, but also more noise. And apply this. Close, close. This before, after, before, after. Let's check this area here. Before, after, before, after. It's really brighter, but also more noise. So let's deal with the noise again and just apply NoiseXTerminator. I usually do 0.6, just apply. Let's work on the details of the nebulosity. Just go to mask and invert the already existing mask. That means now we are working only on this part and this part. Go to mask and not show the mask. And now try to increase this, the details here. Just go to unsharp mask, open the preview, zoom in again. And this is already too much. So this is amount 1, this is 0. And just increase this a little bit. And now you can see more details here. Can you see this? 0. Can you see this? So just increase it very slightly. Apply. Before, after, before, after. You can see this in this area here. And you can also use local histogram equalization. Open the preview. Zoom in here again. You can see this is getting brighter here in this area. So just a little bit, apply. Close, close. Remove the mask. And apply a NoiseXTerminator, so a denoise, 0.6. And now before, after, before, after. Now let's try to highlight this region. For this I would use a script. Go to script, execute script file and search for game. And just add. And now you can create a mask. Using this form here. Apply this here. Just click OK. And now we have a mask. But this is too sharp now, so I would go to Process. Range selection again. Open the preview. Reset the settings. And only select this one, but make it smoother. Much smoother. Yeah. Make it more fuzzy. Apply. Close. Close. Okay, just apply this mask here. To mask, show mask. Invert the mask, and now you can see this is red. So this is exactly the area we want to affect, but go to invert the mask. Don't show the mask. And now let's do some more stretching using the histogram transformation. And do more stretch. So now it's getting brighter. As you can see, don't do this too much, because otherwise you will see that it looks very artificial. but so far so good. Close this and this. This before, after this, brighter now. Close this area, this mask and this again. This as well. Okay, so far so good. Now I would work with the star mask here. And actually there are just two things I would do here for a beginner, since you don't have noise here really. I would first maybe do more stretching to see more stars using the histogram transformation tool. Yeah. Apply, close. I think that's already enough. And I would really do increase the color saturation, go to color saturation, and again use this side here, this bar. And maybe do this twice even. Most probably you will see more green now. I just use the SCNR function, reduce this a little bit and apply. You can also do invert mask and apply the screen again, also to reduce the color cast. Invert again. This looks actually quite nice. We can still see the star trails, but this is okay. We will deal with this later. That's okay. Let's try the recombination of the stars and the nebulosity here. Just rename this and call this stars, and rename this again, right click, go to identify and call this starless. Because to recombine the stars, go to process, all processes, and go to pixel math. I already prepared something, just double click here, and this is the equation you will need. So combine starless, that's why we renamed it starless and stars, and rename exactly as it is written here. We will use a operation, it's a screen operation mode. Just apply this by clicking here, close, and minimize the stars, and this is now our image with stars and the object combined. Actually quite nice, I would say. There's only one thing, maybe several things. Yeah, we can see this this area here, and also the main nebula, the Orion Nebula, but we still can see the star trails. And by applying a really great plugin, which is not free, you can really not just decrease the star trails, but also increase the details of your object. And this is really cool. And this is called BlurXTerminator. Actually, I never changed anything here. Maybe in this case it's necessary to reduce sharpening of the stars, but just let's try and apply this by drag and drop. Yeah. Okay. So this is before, after, before, after. Isn't this amazing? Isn't this amazing? I mean, first you had all those star trails. I mean, look at this, for example, or look at this. Before, after, before, after. Isn't this amazing? You can even see more details here now. Before, after, and you can also see more details in this core structure here. Before, after. For example, look at this darker region here. Before, after, before, after. One more thing, I mean, it's not creating any more details as there is already. look at this region here with the 3 stars now. This is before. It's just a smear. You actually can see only this part separated from this longer part here. And this is after BlurXTerminator. I will zoom in again, just to make it more visible. So here, this before, this after. Now we can see 3 distinct stars here. And now we can check, is this an artifact or is this real? And now here I opened an image from this source. Don't know who did it, but it's looking quite nice. You have some noise here, yeah, but the structures are really, really nice, and also the colors. I love the colors. And the important thing is you can see 3 distinct stars here. So that means this is not some artificial artifact implemented in this image, not visible, but this is really there. I mean, this is really present in this nebula. I think it's amazing. I mean, keep in mind this image was created using a cheap DSLR camera. You can even see nebulosity. This camera has not been astro modified. If you do a DSLR astro modification, that means the camera is after that modification more sensitive to H alpha, which is most part of the nebulosity here. And we can see so much nebulosity without astro modified camera. We can still see faint or distinct star separation here. It's amazing. We can even see the so-called flame nebula here. This is before BlurXTerminator, after. Before, after. You also can see more details here, and I think that's just amazing. That's just amazing. Just one more thing I would do here. I really like colors in my image. Some people, I mean, it's really personal taste. Some people would say it's really fine, it's nice looking, and I think it's already nice, but I really like to have some colors in my images. So that's why I would increase this even more. Maybe using the curves transformation, open the preview. Let's zoom in here to have the Flame Nebula and the Great Orion Nebula visible, and go to S for saturation and increase this even more. Just apply, close, zoom in again. And of course you can also play with only red, green and blue RGB channels, increasing the red or even green. I mean, it's all personal taste, right? I think there's nothing right or wrong. You can even make it bluer, look blue. It's also very nice. And there are other possibilities to give a special color to it. Can also do a mask here again. For example, range selection, open the preview, reset. Just apply this and try this mask. Close, close, apply by drag and drop. Go to show mask, only to check if we really have the area we want to have affected. Zoom to fit. Yeah, this looks quite nice. So only the brightest areas will be affected now. Go to mask, show mask, not to show the mask. And we can either do the overall color saturation or only distinct colors. Now I will try maybe only to change the color in this area here, in the brightest area. Go to mask and remove the mask. Again, try the range selection mask. Open the preview, reset the settings, increase the blur. Just play a little with that one. Apply, close, really apply this here. Just mask, show mask, invert the mask. Yeah, maybe now it's only this area. Let's invert the mask again. Show mask, minimize that one. If you would delete it, it's not applied to this image. This is really important. And go to curves, open the preview, and reset. Zoom in here. Make the changes you want to have. There's more red now. I think I like this. Apply, close. Yeah, and that's, I think, very nice already. Not very much to do here. We still have the separation. Only one thing I don't like here is this red color cast. Maybe remove the mask. Maybe we can use a gradient correction from Pixinsight. Gradient correction, and just apply as it is. Close. Yeah, I think for me it looks better. I think that's from the background. Maybe we can try to apply mask here to the histogram transformation. Open the preview. Check here to have an image signal and just stretch this a little bit, like so. Apply, close, close. And this is only for the mask, because now I want to try to isolate the background and then to reduce red color cast. Just drag and drop this here. Go to mask, invert the mask. So now the stars would be protected and the nebulosity as well. Just click show mask, not to show the mask, and go to SCNR and try to reduce not green but red. Go to 0.6 maybe. And this looks really much better now. I hope you can see this after YouTube compression. But just check this area here. This before, after, before, after. Also take a look at this region before. Okay, that's not good because it's also a reduced color here, but that's not nice. Zoom to fit. Okay, we will need something different here. Remove. Let's try the range selection. Open the preview, reset the settings, make it as big as you can. Maybe like this, apply this. So now also the Great Orion Nebula is protected, our main stars, and also this area with the nebula. So close this, close this mask, and apply the new one, that one. And just go again to main, to mask, show mask, invert the mask. So all the red area is protected and the rest is affected. So go to show mask, not to show the mask, and try the SCNR again. Remove the red 0.6 approximately, apply. This looks much better now. So only take a look at this area here. This before, after, before, after. So strongly reduced. Before, after. Let's check this area. I think this is not affected. Okay, that's very nice. Maybe do this again. Try to reduce this and try again. Before, after. I think it does not change anything here. No. And it will not change anything here. No, not that I can see. And so we really reduced or even removed this red color cast. Close this mask, close the SCNR, but I would try again the NoiseXTerminator with a reduced setting here. Just apply, close, before, after. I don't know if you can see this, but I can definitely see a difference. Before, after. Can I improve this area here? I think maybe let's try again the game mask, the game script. Game. Make this smaller. Yeah. Press OK. Yep, apply. Close this as well, and apply this mask. It's very weak. Invert the mask. Yeah, maybe that's better. It's smaller. Show mask. No. Invert the mask. Show mask. And now let's try again. Local histogram equalization. Preview. Zoom to your area of interest. Yeah. Apply. Close. Before. After. Before. After. This is more prominent. I think maybe one thing we can try is to try to increase the swatching to make it more prominent, and trying to increase the saturation. Reset the settings, go to RGB. Just there. So that will be too much. You would see this definitely. Reduce, so you can also click here to see which area you need to increase. So since you already get some of the star which is very bright, that's actually only this region here. So click here to make a point and just increase this one here and make the rest darker. Yeah, maybe like this. Apply, This is before, after, a little brighter, but still not artificially looking, I think. Open the preview and increase the saturation a little bit. Maybe only the red. Yeah, just a touch. Yeah. Close this, close this. This is before, this is after. Before, after. Since we have some nebulosity also nearby, it's okay. Sometimes you need the bigger picture to see strange artifacts or strange nebulosity here. So this is before, it's very dark, and this is after. And we did not change anything here, so this is nice. So I would leave it like this. That's okay. That's very nice. And don't forget to save. Go to save, also in between, it's very important. Save as, and I will usually save 2 versions with this file type, M42, okay, and 1 version as a PNG, which is much smaller. PNG stack. So that's the image right after stacking. Now I want to present you my first processed image of this raw data from 2020. Yeah, you can see some nebulosity here, but you have no separation of all the stars here. You have a crazy amount of noise. Keep in mind I used a cheap DSLR camera, which was not Astro modified, and we only have a really small or minor indication for this nebula here. We also still have the star trails and so on, and this is what we have now. This is exactly the same data. Several years ago, in this case 4 years ago, I was really not able to get more out of this data. Of course, I did not use Pixinsight, a dedicated Astro processing program. I did not use paid plugins, for example NoiseXTerminator or BlurXTerminator. But even I would have them, I'm not sure I could get the image I have now. This is really crazy. Now we really have nicer colors here for the stars. We don't have such a huge amount of star trailing here. We have more defined structures even in this faint flame nebula, more colors. And yeah, especially of course in this main area here, it's just amazing. I think it's crazy what you can do with some skills for processing. And this is really one thing I learned very early in astrophotography. What you can extract from the data you have. You think it's only low quality you can get from a cheap DSLR camera, but it's not. It's really not. You can see this. It's only light frames, no compensation or calibration frames with a really cheap DSLR camera, and you can get such a nice image. It's just amazing. And just keep doing this, keep processing your images, keep reprocessing your images. I think that's, I love to do this, to do the reprocessing of your images, because you can see what you really learned, how your processing skills improved and so on. Yeah. Okay, with that I want to close this video. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Clear skies.